Welcome, lambs. Welcome to your midweek mini episode. Today, we're talking about a mom who did the unthinkable to her child and a family dog. Before we begin, if you're new here, my name is Kai, and this is Love and Murder, Heartbreak to Homicide, the Wednesday edition. Also, I want to remind you that this episode and all my episodes are sponsored by my lambs and Patreon, patreon.com/Love and Murder. If you want to be a sponsor of Love and Murder and get bonus episodes and case extras, then head on over to patreon.com/Love and Murder and subscribe. Let's get into this midweek mini. On Tuesday, February 15th, 2022, at about 11:45 p.m., police with the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department responded to a 911 call about a disturbance at a home located on the 7300 block of Indiana Avenue in Jackson County. The person who called told the dispatcher that someone was, quote, trying to harm her and, quote, the devil was trying to attack her. This is what she said, and then she hung up the phone. When police arrived, they saw what looked like blood on the front steps of the house, and then on the front door, what looked like hair and blood. So they knocked on the door, but nobody answered. However, they knew that an adult female was in the house because they could hear a woman singing. And when they continued knocking, the woman sang even louder. While trying to get in contact with the woman, getting her to open the door, looking through the window to see what was going on, police found out that multiple children lived in the house, and neighbors had told them that the children had not been seen in several days. Then some of the officers who were looking through the window saw what appeared to be a severed head of a young child right near the front door. So they pulled a Kai, kicked the frick out of that door to try and save those children. But instead of the front door, they did that with the back door. So just so y'all can get a picture of that in your head. Once they were inside, officers searched the house. They didn't find any other children, but located the decapitated head of a young child near the front door of the residence. Wow. The woman, who was later identified as 35-year-old Tasha Haefs, I don't know if I said that name right, Haefs, Haefs, was covered in blood and was immediately arrested. Then the Kansas City, Missouri crime scene unit took over the scene. Quote, the female suspect had apparent blood on her person, and 2 knives with apparent blood on them were observed in plain view throughout the residence. While she was in custody, investigators going through the house, and they got a knife handle, and a screwdriver. All of them were covered in what appeared to be, quote, blood and tissue. They also found another bloody knife in the basement, and once they found that, they also found the body of a headless dog. So police read her Miranda rights and tried to get her to cooperate, but she waived those rights and said, look, let me lay it out straight for you. Let me tell you exactly what happened. She said, I did everything that you see in that house. It was me. Nobody broke in. I'm not even going to pretend like anything else happened. I did it. The child that you found beheaded in there, she said, was her son. And she, quote, admitted to killing the victim in the bathtub and decapitating the victim. Her son was 6 years old and his name was Karvel Stevens. When they continued questioning her, she said she didn't have any mental illness. Nothing was wrong with her. And, I don't know why I did that. So, of course, she was arrested and charged with first-degree murder and armed criminal action. Prosecutors then requested that she be held without bond and also said that, quote, this death of this 6-year-old, quote, takes our breath away. And let me just read a statement that the Jackson County prosecutor, Jean Peters Baker, said, quote, this child's death is a call for something more. Our community must heed the call. Law enforcement, prosecutors, public health officials, social service providers, all of our many partners must work together to address the violence. Strong collaborations are needed to lean into this difficult challenge and better protect our community's most valuable population, our kids. let's also focus Kansas City on the violence among us. It's a challenge that we can no longer ignore. We cannot become complacent with 180 or 170 or even 150 homicides per year and hundreds more shot but not killed. We've seen the horror that can occur when we don't work together to help our community members avoid future violence. In continuing on with the investigation to find out why this happened, police spoke with Tasha's family and, quote, family members said that she struggled for years with drug addiction, depression, severe trauma, and hallucinations. So a mental evaluation was ordered for Tasha, and in June of 2022, she was deemed mentally incompetent to stand trial due to the fact that the Missouri Department of Mental Health monitored her progress and filed a confidential report requesting that the case proceed. So I don't understand that. If you're proceeding with the case, how is she deemed mentally incompetent? I guess proceeding with the case in the sense of she is guilty by way of insanity, maybe? So she was arraigned on April 29th, 2024, which was a week ago, if that. And during her arraignment, she pled not guilty. She was scheduled to be back in court on May 7th for a pre-trial conference, but I haven't found an update on that. So I will try and remember to keep y'all updated on this. That is freaking crazy. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and in the poll, I'm going to ask you, do you think she was mentally insane, or do you think she just did this off of some, I don't even know why you would do this. So I'm just going to say mentally insane or not. I can't even fathom a reason as to why she would do this. The only thing I can think of is, maybe the drugs was getting the best of her. I don't know if she was still on drugs, so it's just alleged. But something was going on with her. And if they're saying drugs, severe trauma, hallucinations, and all that stuff, I'm wondering if the drug addiction had something to do with her hallucination, or was that a mental health problem, like the depression and the hallucination and the severe trauma went hand in hand? Because if you think about that concoction, that is a pot of soup that could cook up DID in some people. So I wonder if it was the drugs, it was the severe trauma and depression, or if it was a mixture of all three that led to this. And there is a news video that comes with this. I'm going to put that as an extra in the Patreon, patreon.com/love and murder. But otherwise, that is all I have for you for this midweek mini. Let me know your thoughts. Go ahead and answer the polls. You can answer it in our WhatsApp, murderandlove.com/WhatsApp, or on Spotify, Patreon, wherever. That's all I have for you today. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.